Good morning, or good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but first, a question everyone's asking on Twitter. And then there's my autistic ass who all of a sudden has all the questions. So, it's been trending for 2 days in a row. And it's simply the phrase, they threw beans on them. I have questions. Let's go. Come down with me into this autistic rabbit hole. Give you a kind of a glimpse on how our minds work. To proceed to my brain, first going, what the fuck? Then proceeded the other questions that I had. It began very simply with, okay, were they dry beans? Were they canned beans? What kind of beans were they? Were they lentils, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans? Why are we throwing beans at people? But what qualifies it as the autistic brain is the first question is, but were they dry or were they wet beans? Were they soft or hard beans? Are we throwing beans at people? What kind are they? What is the context? What does it mean? Well, turns out it was based off of a meme gag in regards to some of the Christianity kids films out there of an individual with a cross for arms, and one of the ways that they bullied him was to throw beans on him. Now comes my other slew of questions. Whose mind comes up with this concept and idea as to how a kid gets bullied? How does the idea of they threw beans at him? I was bullied a lot in school. I basically had a target painted on my back from day fucking one, and I have my own personal bully starting as soon as fucking kindergarten. I can tell you, they didn't throw beans at me. Threw rocks, not beans. Kids will insult, kids will throw rocks, they'll throw dirt, snow, ice. They'll try to put, twigs in your bicycle pegs, BB guns, but not beans. So my question is, how did we sit down and plan this children's story out, and the idea of a way that they could bully them is throw beans at them? Huh? What the hell? More questions. Why are we creating a Christian film with an individual with two crosses for arms? You are aware there are real life reasons for bullying and reasons why they pick on us, right? You see where my brain is going here, don't you? I gotta stop thinking about this. I just, oh god, it's a mind fuck. Wow. Wow. And it gets worse because this was trending while the World War III was trending and New World Order, and apparently they threw beans. I don't know. Is that how World War III starts? We randomly throw beans at someone and it just sends them off on their villain arc? Is that how it goes? God. Oh, I'm going to be pondering this all day. Can't help it. All right, to the disclaimers. In the description box, folks, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavior modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much, they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. That, of course, NeuroClastic has refused, so please read that article and share it on all your social media. We also have linked in there NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding, folks, in case the JRC actually has the balls to see through with their threat. We also have linked in there their GoFundMe, just in case I just repeated myself. My God, I'm sorry, folks. I'm so distracted by they threw beans on him. I can't brain properly. This is like... Okay, let me equivalent you to what this is like. So, several years ago, I was watching, because televangelists amuse me. Well, it sounds horrifying, but go with me here. It's going to make sense in a minute. I was just flipping through channels. Out of nowhere, old Missouri preacher pastor. Sometimes you just gotta hitch your horse to your happy wagon. My brain just stopped. Completely fucking stopped. Oh my God. I'm sorry, but they threw beans on them. Was another brain-stopping moment, okay? So please bear with me, be kind. I'm going to try to get through these disclaimers, and we'll get to the JRC. Just... Woo! Okay. Also linked in there is the Ozarks First article in regards to Agape Boarding School / known as Stone for Help Boarding School. This is a so-called Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri, that has taken in so-called troubled male teens, that has impending over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it, all substantiated by the hard evidence gathered by the Missouri Department of Social Services, and they include the following: sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another a doctor who's still on the premises with full access to the boys, up again on multiple substantiated claims of sexual assault, sodomy, and rape. You've got a brand new attorney general who still's not addressed this subject, but he's absolutely convinced that the drag queens downtown are somehow grooming children, that is more of his focus than the individuals within his own religion who have proven pedophilia problems. And we have a governor so far up Trump's ass. When Trump says jump, he says, how high and to which state do you want me to jump next time, sir? Yeah. Send fucking help. Help! And share that article on all your social media. We got the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign as well, including Autistic massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. The link to the behavioral sheet of shockable offenses provided by Jennifer Masumba, and a clip out of the 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins back in 2002. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please go ahead and use your headphones, all right? All right. This channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity, talk on dark subjects, and apparently get obsessed with this concept that they threw beans on. I'm not going to be over this. I'm going to be on a call tomorrow. I know this. I know this for a fact. I'm going to be on a call tomorrow. And if it's a particularly aggressive customer, I know at some point I'm going to be all like, hey, did you notice what was trending yesterday? They threw beans on him. I already know this. I'm preparing for it right now. I should probably warn my boss. Whew, okay. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this channel, very obviously, parental supervision is advised, all right? All right. Trigger warning, we are about to descend into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear gaslighting, victim blaming, abuse and torture apologencia, pseudoscience, lies, enough ableism and bigotry to circle the globe a few thousand times, all coming from a man with a massive ego and massive God complex. So be prepared for the stupid, all right? I might just randomly, out of nowhere, just say that phrase just to give us a little bit of levity here. 3 beans on them. All right. So the next section of this document contains answers and refutations to the allegations contained in the MDRI report. Okay, dude, we are already 54 pages fucking in, and now you're going to address it? Or are we just going to talk more shit out of our ass? I'm going to go for the latter, but let's take a look, shall we? Shall we just, Response to the specific accusations in the report. Title page, electric shock. At no point does the report distinguish between the electroconvulsive shock therapy, ECT, and the skin shock that is used by JRC as a part of behavior modification treatment. Lie! That's a lie, doctor. They actually explicitly describe exactly what the GED does. And they make it very clear, that this is not ECT. All of us advocates have been making it very clear that it is not ECT for years. In fact, if you watch that video with Andre McCollins, it makes it very clear that it is not ECT. Because anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together realizes you cannot do ECT while a student is sitting in a fucking chair. Okay? There's specific equipment involved. There's pain numbing techniques that they use, that you don't. That is a lie. Many readers will suspect, therefore, that JRC is giving ECT. ECT is a psychiatric procedure often done in a hospital setting that is entirely different from behavioral skin shock. In ECT, the electricity is passed through the brain, causing a seizure. That procedure can have serious effects on a person's memory and other functions. By contrast, in skin shock used at JRC, a small electric current crosses the surface of a small area of the skin, typically an arm or a leg, for a brief period of 2 seconds. No medical conditions are caused, and there are no serious side effects. Lie, doctor. Lie. That is a lie. It is not a small amount of electricity, folks. Your common police taser uses about 3 to 5 MPa. The lowest level GED device uses 15. The next step up uses 45. The most widely used one, which is the GED 4A, uses 85. It's just barely below the lethal limit. That is not a small amount of current, doctor. That's a lie. The other lie, just a small area of the skin. I know how electricity works, doctor. I went to fucking school. The small area of skin that you place it over is directly over a fucking muscle, such as the abdomen or the leg. You may be shocking a small area, but as we know, electricity spreads. When you put it directly on the muscle, it's going to affect the entirety of the muscle, not just where you stick the electrode to. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? I have been around hospitals since before I could walk. My mother has been in healthcare for over 40 years. Are you kidding me? It does not just affect a small amount of skin that the electrode's sitting on, folks. Use your common sense. If you have electricity being shot to you, with an electrode right directly over the muscle. Logically, one can expect that it's not just going to affect that small area, it's going to affect the entirety of the muscle that it's sitting on, which is why you put it there, doctor. Please don't insult my intelligence. But it's only 2 seconds. That can't hurt you. It's 85 MPa, jackass. You know what? A kid who gets punched in the fucking face, that shit hurts. It lasts all of 2 seconds. The residual effects remain. That is true with electric shock, just as much as it is a punch to the face. Okay? You're using electricity to punch someone's muscle directly. All right? No medical conditions are caused. Doctor. Oh, doctor. Doctor. Explain to me why you have put people in the ER who've been on this device. Why, after a 7-hour session of shocks, was Andre McCollins in a hospital for over a month catatonic? Why are there individuals with medical documents to back it up, all listed in the archive, where they have lost feeling in the areas where you placed those electrodes? Why are there individuals who have ER reports of 3rd-degree burns? Why are there reports in the DESI reports of 1st-degree and 2nd-degree burns? Because I call those serious. And so does the rest of the medical model. Okay? The fact of the matter is, in real treatment, there shouldn't be bruises, period. Your profession, as a part of the medical community, whether you want to acknowledge that or not, is supposed to be to cause no harm. You're like, but surgery, again, I will allude you to the fact that surgery includes meds and anesthesia to minimize the discomfort and pain as much as humanly possible where you do not. Therefore, it does not compare. Okay? Now let's talk about this here. Anybody who knows anything about this fucking case knows that MDRI is not comparing skin shock to ECT, and nowhere in their fucking report do they even allude to that. Matter of fact, they go out of their way to explain exactly what the skin shock is and how it affects the students there so that you can understand and comprehend that this is not the same as ECT treatment. What you do is worse than ECT, doctor. You do nothing to minimize the pain that you put these kids through. You make them feel like they deserve it, you sick son of a bitch. Do not start with me. Okay? Do not insult my intelligence. Do not insult the intelligence of the doctors and professionals who are a part of MDRI. You're not the victim. What are we learning here? Well, Dr. Israel wants to confuse you. He wants you to believe that we think this is like ECT. So he can make you think we don't know what we're talking about. None of us have ever compared this to ECT. I have explicitly, on multiple occasions now, explained why it is not ECT. And in fact, why it is not even a good equivalence. Because in ECT, which is extremely tightly controlled, there are measures that are taken to try to minimize the discomfort, the pain, and the issues that may result from getting such a treatment. The biggest difference, is ECT is elective. These individuals, of their own free will, choose to do this. And you can argue consent all you want to, doctor, but none of those kids signed up to be on that device. Other people did that for them. Therefore, your argument of consent is mute. Again, don't insult my intelligence. It's another bullshit argument, folks, that he's pulling out of his ass. This is how you got caught, doctor. I'm going to close on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. Bye-bye, everyone.